Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Chris Chat CFC. Thank you for watching wherever you might be in the world. So we're on the international break. We haven't really got much going on. So I'm going to try and dig and just see a little bit, see what's going on across Chelsea, across the international break, and try and give you something to talk about. Now, first I want to quickly discuss, we've had Enzo Fernandez recently come out and report how he's feeling and potentially asking the question of whether he could leave Chelsea in the summer. Real Madrid are reported to be the destination for the Argentinian. It would take a huge sum of money, and he hasn't really denied that he would go. Now, on the other hand, we have had Caicedo come out with going away on international break. He was asked by a reporter about links with Real Madrid or just being linked away from Chelsea. And this is what he had to say. Ecuadorian has said that when he was asked about Real Madrid, he replied, "I have a contract with my club and I want to become a legend there." Now, that is something that I think we all want to hear. We all want the noise to be shut down completely and very quickly. There is no right and wrong way to discuss you at your club, where your next destination might be. And Enzo Fernandez is completely in his right to say what he wants. He's a passionate guy. He's frustrated at Chelsea, clearly. He might want to move on. And to be honest, I don't think he's an untouchable. Not because he's not class, but I think because Clearlake and the whole blueco Muppets, I think that they are in trouble financially. Not in trouble as in, depths of despair trouble, but they've run out of money. Their interest on their loans are quite high. They need to recoup some money, which they have done recently, but they're going to need to recoup some more if they want to invest in the club again this summer and in the players. And if you're talking about Enzo Fernandez going to Real Madrid, you're looking at an upwards of 150 million for that player. Considering he's on a long-term contract as well, they would demand a lot of money for him. And they would look at that, I think, not because of the footballing side of things, because he's important to us on the pitch, but from a financial point, which is where they look at everything to do with Chelsea. So there's an option there for Enzo to be sold in the summer. Let me know what you think about that. It's not great, but it's lovely to hear from Caicedo that he is very interested in staying at Chelsea. He is very interested in becoming a legend here. Now, how long does that continue under this ownership? Because he's only going to see so much and see what everyone else is doing at his levels at different clubs and think, I deserve better, I deserve to be around better, and my career is short. So I need to have a look at where I'm going at Chelsea and in my career. So we'll have to wait and see with that. So let me know what you think on that. Another thing I quickly want to briefly discuss is Levi. Obviously, we've seen him back in training before the international break, in with the first team. I think in around the Champions League training, the Premier League game training. Now, there has been a little bit of an update as to when we might see him back on the pitch. And this isn't to do with the first team, but this is to do with the under-21s. So this is on Chelsea Dodgers, courtesy of Lloyd Canfield and Jack Rosser. Chelsea plan to give Levi Colwill a run out with the under-21s before making a step back up to a senior level. Now, you can see a picture there. There he is, and he's in and amongst the first team. I mean, we would love to have had him this season on a permanent basis, but obviously he had his injury. So we are looking at doing what we done with Romeo Lavia, and that is we are looking to give him a run out in the under-21s prior to him going back into the first team. Now, I think it would be a great addition. I think, given that he's been out with an ACL injury, he isn't just going to come back in like a quick turnover of a hamstring injury. It's going to take him some time. He's going to be a shadow of the player he was last season. Excuse me. He hasn't been anywhere near the first team this season. He has been long-term injury. It's going to be very interesting to see how he comes back. I can rest assured he's going to be itching to come back, but it will be very interesting to see when he comes back and how he comes back. But it'll be great to have Levi Colwill back. I'm looking forward to next season and actually seeing him hopefully start the season strong, have a good end to the season, maybe a bit more with the under-21s. couple of little cameos with the first team, depending on how we're doing, and then having a strong pre-season and time off. He's not going to make the World Cup squad, so we haven't got to worry about him there. I think if he can just recoup through the summer, he could start the season very strongly with us, and it could be interesting to see who he's partnered with. Because for me personally, I would like to see another centre-back, an experienced centre-back in there. We did have Thiago Silva in there, and we saw how Levi Colwill done there, and we saw how maybe he took some of those traits and took it into his own game. And we saw that last season, so it'd be great to have him back. Let me know what you think on Levi Colwill coming back. Now, talking of centre-backs, there's been little reports here and there, so I'm just going to quickly show you who we're looking at and what we're going with. We have been looking at recently a AC Milan defender, and here he is here. From Matchday HQ, Chelsea are prepared to submit a 40 million bid for AC Milan defender Strahinja Pavlovic, as I say, from AC Milan. Now, I don't really know too much on this player at all. I think he is a very big presence at the Milan back line there. I mean, he looks like he's pretty big built. He's a bit like an Alex by the looks of it. But I'm just going to quickly have a look at his stats, because I don't think it'll be very fair for me to give you any form of details, because I don't know much on him. But so far this season, I think he has played over, is it 27 games? I think if we scroll up here a little bit, we'll be able to see 26 games in totals in all competitions for AC Milan. He has conceded, not him alone, but obviously as a defensive unit, he has conceded 21 goals. Minutes per goals conceded, 102 minutes. Clean sheets, he's had 11. Tackles, 38. Interceptions, 16. Ground duels won, 222, which I think makes great reading there. Ground duels run, 130. Aerial duels, which I think is going to be important, especially in the Premier League with set pieces, he's done 59. Dribbles passed, he's had 8, which, I mean, he's not going to have much coming from the defence. Clearances, 91. I mean, that makes great reading as well. Shots blocked, 10, so not too many. And he's given away two penalties, so it could be a lot worse. So, all in all, I think we're looking at maybe not bad for a defender there from Italy. I mean, he plays alongside Fikayo Tomori in AC Milan, and that is a defender that I would have loved to have seen back. The 40 million. Where are we getting this from? We're a little bit dry on money. Got 2 loans, blueco. We know about that. You've got high interest on that. So I don't know where the money's going to be generating from. And is that going to be generating from us selling? So I think that will be very interesting. I did say on a previous video, I'm not bothered about transfer. Who we're looking at transfer-wise. What we're going to be doing with X, Y, Z. What we think about these players. And I don't personally. But what I am trying to do is I'm trying to give you guys, the viewers, some news that I'm potentially interested in. And also potentially interested in what you think. I think at the moment it's all very clear. We're not really too bothered about the first team because we know how they've been performing and they haven't been performing well at all. And what we want to see, and that is blueco out. Now, talking of blueco and what they've done, I want to show. So England are on international duty. They are managed by our very own Mr. TT, Tommy Tuchel. Now, there was a video that came out of training and him with Cole Palmer, which I think is just lovely. I wish we could have seen it on a club level. But I'm just going to show you on here. And this is, as you can see here, Mr. Tommy Tuchel. He goes up behind Cole Palmer. And he has a bit of fun with him on the training pitch. Now, you can see he's already building a relationship there with him. He's building a nice bond. I think it's to do with his affiliation with Chelsea. He loves Chelsea. He wants Chelsea to succeed. Now, how much would you love to see another owner come in? So if I have a look here again, you got Mr. Tommy Tuchel, arms around Cole Palmer, showing him some love and getting him ready for England. Now, I would love personally Tommy Tuchel to go and find, look at him there, he loves it. And hopefully Cole loves it as well and feels the love. But how much I would absolutely love for Tommy Tuchel to go and find a man with money, and tell him, look, if you go and buy Chelsea Football Club as an asset, because we now know that they can be sold as a limited company, and he says, go and buy them, bring me in as a manager once I'm done with England in the summer, we can get players in, and if you love football like I do, I can win you trophies with Chelsea. I can win the fans trophies. I can win myself trophies. And not just with any club, with Chelsea Football Club. And because the reason why is I feel like he's got unfinished business with Chelsea. You can see when he's there watching as England manager. We saw the other day, was it the Newcastle game or was it the PSG game? He's up in the stands and you can clearly see he's furious at what this club has become. He loved this club. He once said that, you know, with all the travel bans and whatever might be going on with Chelsea, the outside noise, he would get a minibus if he had to, and he would travel to games just to get us there. He was only here shortly, but we loved him. I think we saw a big future with him. I felt stable with him. I felt happy with him. I'd love to see him back. And if he could find an owner to come and buy Chelsea as an asset under these Muppets, that'd be great. And bring him back in, bring in some experienced players around, you know, some of these great young talents that we've got, because we have got great young talent. They haven't been fully exposed as great young talents in all of them because they haven't got the experience around them. I mean, Esteval, he's shining with that real experience. Enzo Fernandez, I still think he can do with some experience around him. Cole Palmer, he's the same. João Pedro. Trevor Chalobah, I think's a better defender when he's got someone experienced at the back. Levi Colwill, he had a great season last season, and that was with playing with Tosin, Badiashile. So it shows that he's taken from Thiago Silva and put it into his own game. So yeah, it'd be great to have him back. Let me know what you think, whether that is just too far-fetched. But, I mean, we've got to try somewhere, haven't we? We've got to try somewhere. So before I go, I'm just going to go through just some Twitter, really, from today. I'm going to go through, let's go through my man Pies, CFC Pies. Now, I love this guy. I think he brings out some great updates. And let's just see whether anything has come out since I've been recording this video. If he wants to load. This is where it's going to do me dirty now, isn't it? It's not going to load. Hey, here we go. Right, Pies, my man. Let's see what's going on. So as I've already reported, so he is going to be making, Levi Colwill is going to be making a return on the 10th of April for Chelsea's under-21s game versus Fulham. That would be very good news, I think, for all of us. That from Moises Caicedo is something that I have already referenced. Just adding on to that he's feeling the love of Chelsea fans and he wants to be part of the project. Believes there's still more to do and win at Chelsea. Yeah, I think you're right there, mate. But I think it's going to be under blueco because you're not going to be winning much under this model, I'll tell you that. What else have we got? Oh, I think there's something else here that I wanted to quickly touch on. And that is Liam Rosenior. Right, okay. So, Liam Rosenior, we've had some talks about him lately, about, you know, whether he should stay and whether he should go. I mean, what Pies has just referenced there quickly is from somebody saying that Chelsea don't feel like basically they're in dire straits and they need to immediately get rid of Liam Rosenior unless something absolutely diabolical and drastic happens. So I'll quickly show you that again, just so you can see. So this is reported by Matt Law and Kieran Gill from Pies here. Only an almighty collapse will cause Chelsea to rethink their stance on Rosenior, but the club have no expectation of that happening. Okay. So I'm just going to scroll down here quickly for another thing here from the Telegraph. Chelsea hope to make summer signings that will help Rosenior in his first full season in charge. Okay. All right. Where's the money coming from? And then there's this. This is reported by Kieran Gill, courtesy of Pies. Chelsea don't plan to sack Liam Rosenior, even without UCL football. One source has said that Rosenior has already been allowed more input into transfers than Enzo Maresca. Okay. Now the next thing. Pass Moy. If I can find it. Okay. So, reports from Carve. I think the owners were expecting better results than this from Rosenior. So it shows that they're already worried. Okay. And then here again from Carve. No, Champions League will result in a big financial and prestige blow for Chelsea. Right. Okay. Let's quickly talk about this. Blueco, Clearlake, Feliciano, Stanley, Stewart, all of them. All they're talking about is us from a financial standpoint. That's all they've ever spoken about. So for them not to get Champions League football with the money that they've already spent, they've got to be worried. Surely not getting Champions League football is catastrophic for them, because that affects them on the financial side. And that's all they care about, remember. So if we go to a few more games of losing, not conceding, not playing well, and we see the Champions League spots slowly creep away from us, will they not panic? And will they think, we're losing finances here because what's happening on the pitch is not going to help us? So where are we with it? There's a lot of conflicting news. They're not worried about Rosinha at the moment, but they are worried about the financial impact if we don't make Champions League football. I would class us slipping out of Champions League as them needing to take drastic actions to save their own skin. These briefs are very painful. I think a lot of them that they come out, 6 o'clock in the evening, and a lot of people on Twitter now, they moan and they laugh and they think, what on earth is all these briefs coming out? You got Carve, you got Ornstein. They come out of all sorts of rubbish that we don't listen to. But I don't listen to most of it, but I'd like to give you some of it so we can have something to talk about during the international break. So I can have your opinions, you can have my opinion. Even though barely anyone watches this, but I'm just starting and I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Which then takes me on to something else to do with financial, and that is Unison Minerals. The most unlikely pairing have come back together, and they've sat down with apparently what a lot of people already know, and that is that Chelsea can be sold within the 10-year period that was once told, because they have done a 10-year cap, shall we say, to protect themselves and to protect their assets and to stop one of them selling to another person and investment and buyers and stuff like that. What they've done is they've got an umbrella under two companies, and they've literally spread everything out into their own asset and their own limited company. Chelsea Football Club, Men's Football Club being one of them, Chelsea Women's being another, Strasbourg being another. They can sell their assets whenever they want. Not after 10 years, not after 5, whenever they want. Chelsea Football Club at the moment is not giving them any money. They're losing money. They're going to carry on losing money because they're spending on players and they're not getting anything in from front of shirt sponsor, Champions League, trophies. It's not doing anything. And Unison Minerals, what they've done is they've done a very, very long 3 videos, which are fantastic. One of them is exposing a chart, basically, of how everything is broken down into what they have designed under Blueco and Clearlake. The second video, they bring in a guy from Strasbourg, who is a big voice over there. And it's a great piece, actually. And it's just showing the other side and how it's affecting Strasbourg, their fans and their club, which is what they care about. Now, the third one, which came out, I think, late last night or this morning, was just adding on to the first video about what was exposed and what the owners can and can't do, referring to our football club. Now, I spoke to somebody the other day briefly, face to face, about Chelsea. He's a big Chelsea fan, and he's been a Chelsea fan since the late 70s. And I was talking about the ownership and what they're doing and this, that, and the other. And he stopped me in my tracks for a second. He says, hang on, you've got to remember something. If these owners had not have come in, we could have gone under as a club. And then I said, well, that's not correct, because we had other people bidding in and they were the best of a bad bunch. So it could have been worse. So we took it then because that's where we was then. But nothing's improved. So now we've got to look to move on. And these guys are forcing the question. They're asking the question and they're forcing it. And they've done some brilliant videos and love watching them. Love how Eunice breaks it down. And Minerals has been right from day one with his agenda. A lot of people haven't agreed with him and how he's moving, and probably because it's the same agenda every time. But he's got a point. He's right. The one agenda is blueco out. Never surrender mentality. We deserve better as fans. And now it's all coming to light that we can do that. We can be on one agenda, blueco out, to save our football club. So fair play to them. And obviously everyone is getting ready for a march on April the 18th. 8 o'clock kickoff against Man United at home. Strasbourg fans are flying over. There is expected to be a lot of Strasbourg fans coming over. Chelsea fans are obviously going to be coming over. I think they're going to be potentially looking at the United fans, because they're going to be there as well, and they're not happy with their owners. So imagine that, 3 clubs coming together to unite and protest against their owners. Obviously Strasbourg and Chelsea against Blueco, and Man United against the Glazers, and so forth. So that would be great. But yeah, I might be back on in a few days, guys, just to talk about anything else that's come out maybe during the international break to do with Chelsea, to do with any of our players who are flying around the world playing for their country. So thank you very much for watching, and hit like, subscribe, notification bell on, and I am also on TikTok as ChrisChatCFC, so you can find me over there. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and I'll catch up with you soon.